here saying hello to everyone listening. It's afternoon where I am. However, when you watch this recording, because I am leaving the recording up, it may be evening. It may very well be tomorrow morning. This is what happens with the magic of whatever it is we're doing here. With the magic of time. I'm in Los Angeles right now, and it is 1:54 p.m. So hello, hello, hello. So I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about something special that I'm doing, something very, very special that I'm doing, and why I'm doing something special about the thing that's special. Stay with me, it's getting ready to get good. So, I am doing a 3-day challenge that I call the Story to Spotlight Challenge. Story to Spotlight. And it's a 3-day free challenge. And you can just go to this link that's over here somewhere. I can't see it. I'm just going to point because my producer tells me it's over here somewhere. You're going to go to storywithkim.com to get all the details. But hold on just a moment because I'll share the details with you. So, in case we haven't met before, my name is Kim Coles. I'm an actress, comedian, author, speaker, coach, supermodel. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, and I have been for a really long time. And one of the things I'm so excited and delighted and just grateful for is I've had 40 years in the entertainment business. I started out as a stand-up comic that moved into acting, that then moved into writing, that then moved into um, producing a one-woman show and producing other things, and then becoming an author and then becoming a publisher. So I am multi-passionate. And and a speaker. I forgot that part. And a speaker. So comedy really led to becoming a speaker really well. But the bottom line is that having 40 years in the entertainment business, 40 years of being a storyteller, and knowing how to craft stories so that they get into the hearts of others is what I do. It's what I'm here to do. And the other thing I'm really here to do is to teach other people how to do it too. Hence the reason why I'm doing a 3-day free challenge, which, by the way, at the time of this recording, it starts tomorrow. And all you do is go to storywithkim.com in order to register, in order to come and get this free 3-day training. Now, I'm going to keep it for about under an hour each day, and there will be replays available. People always ask about that. So if you can register, if you want to get this great 40 years of living. Well, let me start again. There's 63 years of living, and 40 years of it has been uh, being, on stage. So 63 years of living, 40 years of it has been spent on stage and learning to really understand the power of story and storytelling to engage people, convert, compel, entertain, encourage, inspire, motivate, and dare I say, to transform. So you just go to storywithkim.com to get all the details. 3 days. I'm going to try to keep my training under an hour each day, which is hard for me to do because I love this so much. I want to give you a nice, juicy, condensed understanding of the power of story and how else it can be activated for you. So let me just talk you through what the 3 days are going to look like. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week, 11 a.m. PST. Let me do my conversions here. 11 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. CST, and 2 p.m. EST. I tell you what, my gift is not. My gift is not doing all the math on what time other time zones. I just know it's 11 o'clock here. It'll be 2 hours different for CST and 3 hours different for y'all on the East Coast. There you have it. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'm going to do a special recap on Saturday, March 1st. And that will be available for y'all. I'll leave the replays up. And when you sign up, you'll get all the information and how to get to the replay page. But let me tell you what we're up to. We're going to be up to um, understanding even more deeply the power of your story. So you may be an author already. You may be a speaker already. You may be a coach already. You may already be a visionary leader, and you may already have an understanding about the power of story and storytelling, which I believe actually is just baked into our DNA, is how we as human beings learn and relate and connect. And it's really the most, I would say, the oldest and the most sacred way that we do that. And I know usually on these apps, we don't talk about the sacred aspect of it, but there's a way to incorporate this sacred, long lasting, been in our DNA forever way of communicating in our business too. So if you are a speaker, author, coach, visionary leader, entrepreneur, passionate entrepreneur like me, telling your story and the ways in which you convey your story can open up so much for you. It really will help the audience to connect with you in the most wonderful way. Will connect and relate with you in the most wonderful way, and will move you and your audience closer together and closer to transformation. So even though I'm an actress and most of the stuff I've done, especially in the realm of comedy, you wouldn't think of as being a means towards transformation. But over the years, people coming up to me and saying, I saw you on this show and I was going through so much in my life and I needed to laugh. And I felt better about myself and I felt better about what was going on in my world, or maybe overcoming grief or loss in some way. And I just needed to laugh and you helped me laugh. Well, that's transformation. Perhaps you tell a story of how you connected something in your world to the way you do something in business, and you connect that for other people, and you share how you went from striving to thriving, or how you went from overcoming to becoming something new or something unexpected. Well, that then offers up transformation for the audience. And then that leads to conversions. That leads to you being able to share your goods, your products, your services, share you and your gifting with the world. So that's what we're going to be up to for the next 3 days. So on day one, I'm looking at my notes. Day one, we're going to talk about finding your signature story. And I know a lot of folks talk about signature story. I actually think that we have more than one signature story. And just to give you a taste of this, um, I feel that our signature stories are really based on life themes. The life themes like belonging and permission and confidence and standing out and imposter syndrome. There's lots and lots of life themes in which your signature stories can be found, discovered, massaged, and then used. When I say massaged, I mean really crafted in a way that will speak to others, speak to your audience, speak to your clients and your potential clients. And so there's a lot of talk about having a signature story, loss, gain, fear, love, all of the above. But we actually have many signature stories. And the way that I like to teach finding your stories and the way I like to teach crafting your stories, it's a never ending story, so to speak. It's a never ending well of goodness that you can tap into and share with others. And this is also how you build your brand and build your business and build your connection with others. So that's day one. And yes, I think I can get that done in an hour. We're going to talk about just the lessons in your journey. And I think a lot of people share their story but don't connect it to the lessons, don't connect it to the what they found, don't connect it to the transformation that was available there for them that they then connect and share with others. And so that's all on day one. We're going to get it done. And I'm going to teach you the things I've learned over the years in my 40 years of show business. And like I said, my 63 years of living on this earth. I found some beautiful ways to connect my life themes, my stories with my audience so that they feel seen, heard, and valued. And so that they raise their hand to go, oh, that's the one I want to work with. I want her to teach me this, or I want to be in her group, experience, her group coaching program. I mean, that's how you get people to lean in to want to work with you or lean in to want to hire you. Someone will hear your story and go, I got to have that person on my stage as the keynote at my next event. It's through the power of story and personalizing it in that way. So we'll talk about that. Day one. Day two, I've got something I'm going to share called the 3 S's of magnetic story. Magnetic story, because you want people drawn in. You want to draw the people into you and have them say, yes, where do I sign up? Where do I buy your stuff? How do I book you? And we're going to talk about strategy, soul, and scaling. That's strategic positioning of your story, It's not just telling the story for the sake of telling the story. There's intention behind it. There's strategy behind it. There's a soulful connection. I think a lot of times I hear speakers and folks who are presenting don't always add the soul, don't always add the heart in their stories. They're just sort of telling the story. That was me doing the robot, like a robot. We don't want to be a robot and whatnot. What we want is to add the soul in our story. And sometimes that means being vulnerable. Sometimes that means knowing when to be vulnerable and knowing how to take your audience on a journey. So that's the second S. There's strategic positioning, soulful connection, and then there's scalable monetization. Scalable monetization. What you may not know is that there are so many ways that your story can be monetized. So yes, you're an author and you have books. By the way, I have my books sitting on the right here on the table with me. Yes, I have all my books sitting right here. Lots of books. Humble brag. But it's what I do with those stories, what I do with my products and services, how I exponentialize. And I'm pretty certain that's not a word, but that's okay, is how to exponentialize your story into other products and services and ways that you can reach the marketplace. And so that means that you as a speaker have more than one way than just getting booked to speak at a gig. It's the ways that you leave yourself in the room. It's a way that that your audience can take you home with them. And we're going to talk about how to exponentialize or monetize your wonderful story and stories. And then on the third day, oh, day three was monetized. I'm sorry. So day one was finding your story. Day two is creating a signature story that gets you booked and paid and seen and heard. And we do that through strategy and soulful connection and through monetization, scalable monetization. Doesn't that sound like something that you need? You don't want just the money. You want the scalable money. More money, more money, more money. Some of you will catch that. And like I said, that's the third day, how to monetize your story and get paid to share it. So that's what I'm doing for 3 days. Plus, there's a workbook. Plus, there's all kinds of greatness. When I show up and teach in this way, I always allow space for the other messages to come through, and I mean, allow divine downloads. And so, we're going to be doing this on Zoom. You'll be able to ask questions, at the end of the presentation. That's why I say I'm going to try to keep it to an hour. But I really want to give you this because I think now is the time when we can activate our stories even more. I think there's a lot going on in the world and there's a lot of noise, and your voice has to be able to pierce through. And your voice and your message and your mission has to be able to pierce through all that noise so that you can help transform others the way I know that you came here to do. Really activating your gift and the way that you can, like I always like to say, close the gap between striving and thriving for others. That's what you're here to do. In case you didn't know that, you're welcome. You're here to share your gift. You're here to share the journeys in your lesson, the lessons in your journeys. Share your journeys, share the lessons, and show how you overcame and became who you are, what you do, and the way you want to serve others. And by the way, this transformation I'm talking about that you can help others with is transformational for you too. The way I transitioned from being an actress and a comedian, and I was going to say in just a second ago that I was going to say just an actress and a comedian, and there's nothing wrong with being just those. But I felt that I had this calling, that I had more inside, or a depth more that I wanted to share. And why not use the gifts and talents that I've built in this arena of being on stage, and now come over here and teach other people how to do it beautifully and how to do it with confidence and poise and authenticity. You get to just show up and be you, and show up and be the best version of you while sharing the best version of you with others so they can become the best version of themselves. Ooh, that was real inception-y, wasn't it? That's intentional too. So I hope that you can join me for the Story with Kim. I'm sorry, you just go to storywithkim.com to get the information, but it's the story to sorry, story to spotlight 3-day challenge. And in full transparency, I will be making an offer. And let me just explain how that came about too. I'm making an offer to work with me one on one. And I think it's good for me to mention that now so that there's full transparency, you know what I'm up to. Because I'm multi-passionate, I'm so grateful that I get to do it all. And joy of joys, I just booked a TV show. Yay! And that show starts mid-March. Yay! And I'm going to be on a set all day long. Yay! Yeah, I'm real happy about that. I'm real happy about that because I get to show up and be, put that hat on, the actress hat on. But what that means is I will be on a set most days and will not have as many spots to work with people one on one. So I decided to do sort of this, open the floodgates, get some wonderful people in who would like to work with me one on one, to really craft their story, really dial in on that monetization plan. If you're thinking like, how do I monetize this? Work with me one on one, and I can make that happen. And so that's going to be what we're up, what I'm going to be sharing with you. And if you want to know about that right now, you just go to coachkimcoles.com/story spotlight. coachkimcoles.com/story spotlight. If you're like, Kim Coles, I'll skip the 3 days. I just want to work with you. Then come on, and there's a information when you go to coachkimcoles.com/story spotlight. All the information is there. I'm opening up 15 spots. The first 5 are discounted. Wink. I'm transparent. Just go ahead. Go ahead. The first 5 spots are discounted, and then it goes up a little bit, and then I will have to close the doors because I'll be on a set all day. Then I'll be able to still coach on the weekends, but I like to have my days open to be able to coach folks and really spend time with them and dive into your story. And what happens that's I get to have fun with is I hear your story and I hear even more nuggets in your story, more gold in your story, more gems in your story that can be activated and shared with the world. And so that's what I love to do. So my fortune is also your fortune. I start in 3 weeks on set. I can't tell you about the show, but it's wonderful. I get to play an educator even though I'm educating in real life. Art imitates life. Life imitates art. And that's kind of cool. I'll be on a set and I won't be able to do my one-on-ones, but I'm leaving space to be able to do that now. So that's full transparency. That's what we will be up to. Come to the 3 days or say yes to working with me anytime, at coachkimcoles.com/story spotlight. All right. I think that's it for now. Have a great rest of your day, evening, whatsoever. Sign up. You'll get the emails. You get the Zoom link. You'll get the replays. You can, watch me in the evening. I'll be doing this, like I said, 11 o'clock each day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. However, the replays will be made available for a short period of time, and you can catch up and enjoy. Oh, there's a workbook. Did I tell you there's a workbook? And story prompts. You're like, Kim Coles, how do I find my story? Don't worry. I've thought of everything. And I have that for you soon. I will have that because we're going to spend time together soon. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Bye for now. Storywithkim.com to register. Wink. And I do my own sound.